In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I painted Winter Solace from start to finish, from the first scrubbing of the underpainting right through to those final highlights. This one is built on a solid classical foundation, starting with a warm ground and a volume map. I begin by preparing the canvas with Raw Sienna Dark from Michael Harding. It gives a gentle warmth that works beautifully underneath all the cool blue tones later on. For the underpainting itself, I'm using underpainting white and raw umber. I block in the light area of the sky first, very thin, almost scrubbed on, and then repeat that for the pathway where the snow will sit. With the raw umber, I start working in the distant tree line, keeping the values lighter as those trees sit further back. As I move forward in the painting, I gradually increase the value and darken the raw umber. The paint at this stage is very thin and transparent, and it's all about mapping things out. For the fir trees, I scrub the main body of the trees in first using the rosemary smoosher brushes, and I'll leave a link to those in the description box below. Then I switch to a smaller brush to shape the outer edges and get that slightly ragged natural silhouette. The bare winter trees go in the same way, trunk and main shapes first and then the branches. I also place the dark shapes for the rocks. And with a liner brush, I drop in a few twigs. I don't put too many in at this stage because the bulk of that detail comes later in the colour layers. Here I'm using a Q-tip and a putty eraser to help lift areas back to that warm ground, especially on that large fir tree. Here I'm adding a little more of that underpainting white to the fir tree. This isn't entirely necessary, but again, it does help give me a visual map for the colour layers later. Once the underpainting is dry, and that's usually overnight, I move on to the sky. I mix a soft, warm white using titanium white with a touch of titanium buff and a tiniest hint of cadmium orange. That warmth is going to play nicely against the cooler blues. For the blue, I use phthalo blue with a little raw umber to grey it down. I keep the lighter blue in the centre of the sky and deepen the corners slightly with a touch of ultramarine blue, and then blend it all together for a soft sky. Next, I reinforce the darker areas across the painting. The paint here is still fairly thin because I'll be putting thicker, more opaque layers on top. And that's one of the great benefits of having a clear tonal underpainting already in place. I work into the distant snow using a muted blue for the shadowed areas and then a cleaner white for the brighter sections. I like to work from back to front with landscapes, so once the distance is established, I move on to the mid-ground trees and the pathway. On the fir trees, I tap the snow in with a greyed down blue-white. I avoid going too bright too soon, so the final highlights have somewhere to go. I switch to a liner brush and thin the paint down slightly with a touch of medium and begin adding the twigs and the branches. A wipeout tool helps reveal some of that warm ground underneath, which gives a lovely subtle glow within the mid-tones. And then I'll add a little bit of snow on top, again using that liner brush. When I highlight the branches, I'll use a warmer, softer white where the branch reaches into the light, and then a cooler blue-white in the shadowed sections. I add a cooler blue-white snow into the grasses and then layer the grasses over the top with a liner brush. To add variation to the colour, I mix a tiny touch of cadmium red to push some of the blues slightly violet. With everything established, I start adding the thicker highlights. These are the accents that finish the whole piece. This is why I always say, save your brightest tones for the very end. It's much easier to judge where they are needed once the painting is nearly complete. I pop the warmer whites on top of the rocks. Finishing finally with much thicker highlights on to the main fir tree, really layering that on so that we get that lovely thick texture as well as those brighter lights. And here I'm adding a touch more movement to the pathway so it feels like the land is gently rising and falling. And here is the finished painting. If you'd like to paint this with me, we're doing the full project live on the 30th of January 2026 inside the MazArt Academy, and that's all part of the MazArt Academy membership. I'll leave a link in the description box below. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next painting.